So my speech this week is on why sustainable fashion matters, and I've also included some ways in which we can help this process. So first, what is sustainable fashion? Sustainable fashion is companies and factories taking measures to minimize their impact on the environment, whether that's using eco-friendly materials, recycled or organic textiles. There is no one way of doing this, and many people have their own definitions on what actually matters to them within sustainability. This may be to lessen the environmental impacts or consider ethical and moral impacts on the world and people. So why does this matter? One major reason is that shopping and producing clothes sustainably, it reduces the impact on the environment. Consumer culture is the idea that companies produce clothes and items based on the wants of its consumers. We overconsume and treat our clothes as disposable, which is one cause of this. This creates multiple issues on the environment as products are designed to fail or break after a certain amount of time, and that's called planned obsolescence. And what creates waste, and as a product we dispose of them, and it spills up over time. Over 15.1 million tons of textile waste was generated in 2013, of which 12.8 million were discarded. Any materials that are made of unnatural fibers or chemicals can leak into the environment through the ground, or in the air if clothes burn. And this takes hundreds of thousands of years to biodegrade. The second big environmental cost is water waste. It takes 7,000 litres of water to produce one pair of jeans, which is the daily consumption of 46 people in the UK. This creates multiple issues again, as the world's clean water resources is not unconditional, and by using so much of it in clothes production it takes away from those who really need it. 20% of water used is to dye fabrics, which is a waste and also contaminates water, which is generally left to be soaked up by the ground, again releasing harmful chemicals and polluting the ground. To improve this, some countries such as the EU and the US have put in place environmental regulations on textile industries. This encourages factories to minimize the spread of harmful toxins and polluted water. Another way is also to improve the water consumption is to use fabrics that have low water consumption, such as linen and recycled fibers. These also overall reduce the negative impacts of fashion production and protect the environment against waste during production. The next reason is ethical reasons. Sustainable fashion is important for ethical reasons, as many workers are exploited in factories across the world. Factory workers are often underpaid and work in unsafe conditions. Many sustainable companies are against the fashion industry and want fair trade for all workers, focusing on good conditions for all labourers. Any clothing items that are considered to be fair trade are certified by Fair Trade USA. Ethical fashion combines social and environmental impacts of fashion. Ethical fashion fights for workers and the environmental impact caused by production and post-production. An example of this is Peopletree, which is a fair trade company which is based in London and Tokyo and aims to create innovative and affordable fashion whilst respecting people and the planet. It helps provide good wages and tries to prevent what is considered slave labour. Researchers believe that 40 million people are in slavery, and half of them are labour slavery, which is areas like manufacturing. People can make a difference, and even shopping sustainably at these companies can make a difference between a child being employed and them being allowed to attend school. Sustainable fashion can change people's lives, and that's why it's important. So to conclude, sustainable fashion matters because it not only tries to protect our environment, but it also fights for the workers. These are both very important issues and have serious consequences. They can affect our futures, and if we have the ability to make a change, we should try to improve quality life for everyone. The long-term effects produced during the production of clothes have negative impacts on the environment. It matters that we can educate people on the issues of around clothing and textile waste, and that we can change the way people shop and the way people view their clothes. At the moment, people don't understand the true cost of fashion, and if they understood it, we would likely change the fashion industry for the better. The ultimate goal of sustainable fashion is to create a system which can be supported indefinitely in terms of human impact on the environment and social responsibility. Here I have just some images to show the waste so what happens after. So this is during cotton production and workers working for low wages, unsafe conditions, and this is generally what happens to most of our clothes once we dispose of them. Thank you for listening.